안녕하세요 여러분 미스트롱이야. Welcome back to my channel. For today's video, I'll be giving you a life update. What's happening to me, what were my experiences within the 2 months that I've been studying Korean, and within the month, more than a month that I've been here in Konyong University in Korea. And I will just share my experiences, I think. And how do you guys love my hair? It's really funny to see the outcome of my hair. But anyways, I've created a poll or questions in my Instagram story about what you want to know or what you want me to answer in this video. So thank you so much for answering, and I've got many answers, so I'll be answering them one by one in this video. For the disclaimers, all of the things that I'll be saying here is based on my experience, and that's it. 안녕, 미스톨롱이야. So as you can see, I'm outside. Today's Sunday. I'm outside the university. I'm outside campus here in the park. This is the Student Union building. And I don't know if you can hear me clearly. So, this is what happened. As you know that I've started studying Korean last August 31. I think our university has the earliest date to start the language program. So we started August 31, and we had our midterms already, our finals even last week on Thursday. Alright, so we already had our finals last Wednesday and Thursday, and the result was given last Friday, and I did not like it because my grades were really low. And even though I studied really hard with the previous weeks, still different. Like, studying new language is very challenging, most especially Korean language, since English and Korean language is really, the grammar structure is really different. So if you're used to speaking English, even Filipino and English has almost the same grammar structure. So if you're used to speaking with those languages and you study Korean, it will be really challenging. Yeah, but eventually you'll get used to it. And as you know, my classes are taught 100% in Korean, so you need to adjust. So yeah, first thing to do if you're planning to apply for the GKS scholarship is to learn the basics of Korean. Maybe like start learning the alphabet, though it's very easy to learn. You can learn it for a week. Alphabet, how to read and write, and after that memorize as many vocabularies as you can, because you'll be needing them. You will really need them a lot. Vocabularies are very important. And the next is grammar. Of course, grammar is taught in the classroom, so you will master it maybe if your understanding is really fast. If learning your language is your thing, you will learn vocabularies very fast. Alright, so far, this is from Stanley. So far, have you experienced racism in here in Korea? So far, I haven't experienced yet, and I hope I won't experience that, because I know it's very bad. But in this school, since we are many, like foreigners are many, so I think if I experience racism, action will be given right away. Alright, so according to Sonia, expectations versus reality about South Korea. I did not expect much. I'm expecting to experience a lot of new things, but I did not expect that Korea is this disciplined when it comes to a lot of things, like following simple rules, especially in the bus or in the train station. They don't really, it's hard to explain, but Koreans are obedient. And expectation, like I thought I will be having hard time adjusting with my lifestyle, though I had a hard time, but it's not that really difficult to adjust. I was just having hard time with the weather because it's changing, and it's not funny because it's very cold and I don't like cold weather. So I think that is the most challenging part for me. Expectations versus reality. I did not expect much. Next, what are the changes by Rabbi dot art? What are the changes you felt in yourself after coming to Korea? I think I'm more lazy to study because it's like I'm thinking of going to a lot of places, so I only have the weekend to spend. And instead of studying sometimes, not all the time, so instead of studying, I go to visit places, spend my money, my allowance, which is, I think it's good, but there's also a bad side. Of course, I need to study more because the lessons are getting more difficult every time. I mean, as the days goes by, it's getting more difficult, getting harder to understand. So yeah, I think those are the changes that I felt within myself. Because here, though the corona cases are high, the people are following instructions, and we're free to go. Though there are some precautions we need to follow, but we are free to go anywhere. Anyways, how is your life changed from being in your country to now in Korea? Did not change much. It's like I was just in college because I used to live in the dorm, so I did not adjust really big time. Yeah, I used to live with other people in my workplace. I used to live with my workmate. So adjusting to people, I think, is not a thing for me. But of course, there are culture differences, which is a little, but not much, challenging for me. And I don't just live with one person, but with many, especially my classmates. There are a lot. So understanding every culture is a good thing, but challenging at the same time. Next, from blissful life, how's your love life? It's okay. I'm happy. I'm happy with myself. Self-love. Okay, next. What are the new things need to keep in mind when you go there? How does the class come in there? Like what I've said, if you are planning to apply for the GKS scholarship, it's better to study Korean in advance. Basic writing and reading, that's the most important part, because you'll be having hard time catching up if you start from zero here, because most of your classmates of course knows basic Korean. So though you will be bi-level, but it's still better to have a few knowledge about the basic Korean. Next thing is, when you come here, try to bring some snacks or food from your country, because you'll be missing it a lot. That is one thing that I've adjusted a little harder, adjusting with the food, because most foods here are rich in spices, chili especially, spicy food. So most of the time you'll be eating spicy foods. And what else, when you go to restaurants, if you're a Muslim or like me, I don't eat pork or seafoods, that will be a little challenging. But if you learn how to say tweji amoyo, like that, you say I don't eat pork, they will understand it. So you can say 고기 soyo, do you have chicken meat? You can ask those things. So learn the basics of asking things, something like that. And yeah, try to bring some snacks from your country, so if you feel homesick sometimes, you can eat those and your taste buds really will look for those kind of food. And the classes are great, the teachers are great, they are really into they know what they're doing, they know what they're teaching. It's just that we, the students, have different pacings. So when it comes to memorizing vocabularies, understanding the topics, it depends on the students. So as for me, I'm a little bit slow. So the teacher for me is a little bit fast. So I'll say that when they discuss a topic, it's like I'm still processing on my mind how to understand it, and then they will jump directly to another topic, so another thing to memorize. So it's really difficult, challenging for me to, to learn new language. But yeah, I need to. I'm already here, so yeah, fighting. And also, if you were accepted, from what I did not bring a lot of clothes. So that's a good thing as well, because clothes here are very fashionable, cheap as well for me. So it's better to buy clothes here than to bring a lot of clothes from your country. So it's also helpful to bring clothes like lesser expenses, but yeah, it depends on you, but that's what I did. Next is it really difficult to adapt to the life there? Things you should know about. If you like to go to new places, to meet new people, well, being here in Korea, studying Korean won't be difficult for you, though you really need to adjust yourself with Korean people, especially in the grocery, in all places that you will go, in the supermarket, they will just so fast. So if you won't adjust yourself with those things, I think you'll be having a hard time. And if you're like maarte, I can translate it in English. If you are maarte, you cannot really survive here. If you're picky, if you're choosy with people, with food, I think you'll be having a hard time. Next, how to remember vocabularies. Oh, I'm having a hard time too. So what I did is I download Quizlet app, encode all my vocabulary lessons there, and challenge myself, like test writing and flashcards. I do that again and again until I remember like maybe 80% of the vocabulary from each chapter. Tell about your imagination and reality about South Korea. Well, I've always imagined Korea as beautiful, and I was not disappointed because it is really beautiful, especially when I arrived here. It's almost autumn, so it's quite cold. The trees are changing the colors, and it's just, I'll say that, amazing for me to witness the changing of the colors of the leaves, and then they're falling. Very amazing. What things you like about Korea, things you don't like about Korea. First, things I like about Korea is it's very convenient here. Like what I've mentioned in my previous vlogs, Korea is very convenient. What I say with convenience, like life is easy here by means of transportation, going to supermarkets, choosing the food you want to eat, even in the convenience store, everything is there. Just name it, in Daiso. That's why I hate going to Daiso, because I will get things I don't need, but I think I need it. So there's a lot. It's very convenient here. The food, they're delicious. Yeah, even in the convenience store, instant foods, even in the grocery, like microwavable foods are available. So preparing your breakfast will be much easier and faster, or preparing your meal in general. Things you don't like about Korea. What I don't like is they don't try to speak English when they know that they don't speak Korean. So it's you who will adjust to them, not them who will try to speak English for you. So that's the downside of being here in Korea. Though not all, some like restaurants or some places, they speak a little English, which is really good. But in general, you have to speak Korean for them. So I think it's not that I don't like, it's the most challenging part. How was your first month in Korea? Any significant events or challenges you faced? I think not general changes, because I've met a lot of new people. I've met some friends from the Philippines, and a lot of friends also extended their help to me to survive here, like giving food. I mean, that's the only thing I need, food, to survive. So first month's cold weather is crazy for me. I did not experience like this in the Philippines. So the best dish I ate, I think, is tok kalbi. It's like a beef rib patty. It is one of the signature dish in Korea, kalbi rib. So it's very yummy. What have been your substitutes for Pinoy cravings? There's none actually, because the expectations of the taste versus the reality is really way different. Their snacks here, you're expecting it to be salty like in the Philippines, but when you taste it, it's a little bit sweet. So yeah, that's why it's very important to bring some snacks from the Philippines or from your country and bring it here for you to, to survive when you miss eating your local food. All right, so being here for 2 months is a blessing, because I don't really experience like getting broke, though bringing money, like it's mentioned in the guidelines, you have to bring like pocket money for at least $500. It will really help you, because most of from my university, or in some universities, they process or the processing of the bank account will be a little longer. It will take 2 weeks. So bringing pocket money will save you from getting hungry while waiting for your bank account, because they will send the money directly to your bank account. And is the allowance enough for you to survive? The answer is yes, and it's very enough for you to survive here. You will even have extra money to send to your family or to save for future use. So it depends on how you will spend it, but for me it's fairly enough just to survive, because here in my dorm they only deduct like $150. It's very cheap. The food, I only spent $200 maybe for a month spending, and $200 for eating out, spending for a month. So the rest will be your savings, or if you want to buy something, clothes for winter, for summer. Yeah, you can survive here with the allowance that they give. Tip for those who are planning to apply for the scholarship: prepare yourself. Living here is not easy, it's very tough. The pressure in the classroom is really high, because they're expecting the students, of course, to learn fast, to catch all the lessons quickly. That will be very challenging. So the pressure of knowing that you will be taking a topic very soon and you only have little knowledge about the language, and when you see your scores in the test, those things can really add up to being stressful here while studying the language. It's been 2 months that I've studied Korean, and I felt like I've improved 5% out of 100. So that's how slow I'm learning Korean. But I believe and I pray that I'll improve very soon. My goal is to converse with the locals in Korean fluently. If not fluently, maybe just fluently. So that's my goal within the year, and of course to achieve topic 3 or 5 for additional allowance. Alright, so that's my life update, like what I've experienced here for 2 months being here in Korea. I'm okay, I'm happy, but a little bit stressed at the same time, because challenging studying new language. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, please don't forget to drop a comment in the comment section, and I will definitely be glad to answer your questions. Bye. Thanks for watching. 감사합니다. Please don't forget to like and subscribe.